Welcome to Throttle On. Today we will be reviewing the Yamaha XSR 900. So we're gonna pull over up here and we'll do a little walk around. I'll kind of go over everything and then we'll go on a little test ride. But yeah, this is the 2019 Yamaha XSR 900. This is I've had this bike actually about a year. I've been meaning to get this test ride in, but this is an amazing motorcycle in my opinion. It's the motor is just excellent. Like, I've never had a more smoother motor on a motorcycle that I've ever owned. It's this triple that Yamaha puts out is just amazing. And it's got tons of power. I think, as you know, everyone's seen this motorcycle, the way that the throttle is on it and the way that this motor is. It's a lot of motorcycle. But yeah, we'll pull in right here and go over we'll go over it. All right, everyone, this is actually the 2018 Yamaha XSR. I bought it just about a year ago. But yeah, this motorcycle is it's been fantastic to own. It's a great motorcycle to ride. This one is the red color. I'm not sure if it came in another color this year or not, but I like the red. I think it's a good classic look. I haven't done any real modifications to it. So yeah, it's a 900cc. It's a 3-cylinder motor. It's the same motor in the MT-09, but yeah, this is the XSR basically model. This is the more classic looking model. So yeah, well, this is kind of the other side here. You can kind of see, like, I put some miles on this thing. It's got about 7,000 miles on it. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of long distance riding on it. Just some rides here locally, a couple hundred miles here and there. But yeah, I really have enjoyed this motorcycle. So you can kind of see it's got the single instrument up front here. There's not a lot to it. It's got the time and the temperature, the motorcycle temperature. You can kind of see here it's got the odometer. It's got trip 1, trip 2, and then miles per gallon. So yeah, it gets typically around 40 miles per gallon. Just depends on how you drive it. Like you saw, there was 37, so it just all depends on how you drive it. But typically I get around 40 miles per gallon on it. It doesn't hold a lot of fuel. It only holds about I think around 3 gallons or so. So usually around 120 miles I start looking for a place to get more gas. So that's one thing to keep in mind, but I don't mind because I typically don't drive more than that distance before I want to get off of it. But yeah, this has been a great motorcycle. I have put another set of tires on it than what came with it. Actually, I kind of like I think they were Bridgestone tires, the Battle Axe that came with it. But yeah, I kind of like the tires that were originally on it. These tires here, I can't even remember. They're Shineko radials, but they've been all right. I think the original ones were better. One thing I would say is the original tires, they were a lot softer, and I actually ended up replacing them around I think it was around probably around 5,000 or 4,700 miles on it. So I was kind of surprised about that, but anyway, these tires have around, I think, around 1,500, 1,800 miles on them. So we'll get on, we'll take it for a spin. Let's get going. So I haven't done anything with the exhaust or anything. This is the stock exhaust. Like I said, everything on here is pretty much stock. I really haven't changed anything. One, I just have too many other things going on to really mess with it. And two, I mean, I don't know, it's fine the way it is for me. So yeah, it's, like I said, it is a super fun bike to ride. This is definitely not a bike for beginners, and this thing will flat out fly. The throttle response, the way it's set up on this bike, it's just not a good bike for beginners. I mean, you really got to be holding on to this thing when you hit the gas. If you hit, you know, something by accident, or you hit a bump and you kind of jerk back on it, you don't really want to be caught off guard when you kind of hit the throttle too hard on this thing, because it wouldn't be fun. But yeah, so it's the throttle is very twitchy and responsive. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this bike for a beginner. All right, so we'll go here and we'll get on the highway and we'll see what she can do. But yeah, I mean, driving through the curves and roads like this, it's very good handling, easy maneuvering motorcycle. It's easy to kind of, you know, flick around. It seems very, you know, easy to maneuver. It's not hard to turn. Let's see if we can get a 0 to 60 from stop here. All right, we'll see if we can go 0 to 60 here. So ready? Already there. So that was in second gear. So like I said, this bike will give you everything you want, at least for me anyway. It's fun, super fun to drive. Like I said, it's fun zipping in and out of traffic, and very responsive, and I really like the way that this bike kind of handles, especially in traffic. So yeah, we went and got off the highway. It was just crazy windy out there. I'm not sure. One thing I will say too is it seems to me that there's no windshield or anything on this motorcycle, and you know, you would expect it to catch a lot of wind, but to me this one seems to catch a little more wind than other motorcycles I've driven. And I'm not sure why, but it does seem to catch a little more wind on the highway. First gear in this bike, it's almost dangerous, right? Like, yeah, you hit the throttle wrong, it's, you know, front tires coming up, and it's not a bike for the beginner. You can make some mistakes on this bike, and it's not very forgiving, for sure. I've had several friends ride this motorcycle, and actually I had a friend recently ride it, and he told me he was actually thinking about buying one, and he came back and basically said, no, there's no way I can have a motorcycle like that, just because, you know, it's a lot more than maybe some people want to drive on a normal basis. I mean, you just got to be aware of what you're doing, and you know what you're doing with the throttle. It's not, like I said, it's not very forgiving, and some people don't like that. So it's not the bike for someone like that. And he's got an Africa Twin, and he likes to drive that thing around, but he was looking for something more of a streetwise. I think now he's looking at the XSR900. I've never driven the 700. Actually, I looked at the 700 when I bought this bike. It just felt different to me, and actually I went in looking at the XSR900, and I I sat on it, and I'm a little taller. I'm almost 6'3", and it felt smaller to me. And actually, when I sat on this bike, it just felt like it fit better. I was a little concerned about, everything I've heard and read about this bike and the much power, kind of the same things I've been talking about. Like, it's a bike that you got to be aware of when you're driving, and I kind of weighed out my options, and I really liked the look of the XSR. It's just the 700 wasn't a good fit for me, and the 900 was, and that's why I went with the 900. But again, it hasn't been bad. Like I said, I drive this bike a lot, and it hasn't been bad. But again, I would say go see one, go sit on it, go test drive it one if you can. And it's like I said, it's been probably one of my favorite motorcycles I've ever owned, right? And I've had motorcycles for the last 28 years, right? And this has been a fun one to definitely ride around and drive and own. I think that'll about wrap up this video. We'll probably do some more videos with the XSR. Like I said, this bike, it's been a pleasure owning for the last year. At this point, I wouldn't see getting rid of it anytime soon. It's just, it's kind of my standard street bike that I'll ride around. And even like I said, I don't do a lot of long trips or anything, but a few hundred miles, something like that in a day, this bike is definitely capable of it. So that about wraps it up for this video. Thanks for watching Throttle On. Please like and subscribe. Also, if you want to follow us on Instagram, anything that we do over there, it's kind of a little bit of a sneak peek before we make any videos on some of the things that we're doing. So you can follow us on at Throttle On 1 on Instagram. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was informative for those of you considering buying this bike. I would say, again, like, just know what you're getting into when you're buying it. It's nothing too crazy as long as you know what you're doing, right? Like, it's a motorcycle, right? I wouldn't say, don't let anyone scare you off from getting it. Just, you just got to be aware. If you're an experienced rider, then you know how to ride a motorcycle, right? It's just a motorcycle. That about wraps this episode up. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and we'll look forward to putting out a video next week. Thanks, everyone.